What is up, guys? This is Chris and I'm back with more Everyday RC and my new LOSI 3XL-E. That is right. I know a lot of you that follow the channel are eager to see this truck up and running, and believe me, so am I. I've had this truck for a few days now, and unfortunately I haven't been able to run the truck just yet because there were a few things that I needed to address and take care of before I was ready for my first run. Now, since this is a Horizon vehicle, most Horizon vehicles now are supplied with EC5 connectors, and for those of you that follow my channel know that I am a dedicated Castle Creation 6.5mm connector guy, and I have them on all of my batteries and most of my ESCs. So let me pop the hood for you real quick, and as you can see, of course I am running Maxamps batteries. And these are the batteries that I have on hand as of right now to run on the truck, and I plan on running this truck on 6S. So right now I have two of these in there. These are 3S packs, so 2 in total equals 6S, and they are 5450 milliamp, 11.1 volt, and they are 120C each. Now they are slightly shallow, and I did notice that the perfect pack to put in here are 6500 milliamp, which are a little bit higher, a little bit thicker. So as of right now, which is always a good idea anyway to put under your batteries for some cushioning, I have some foam to take up the difference because they're slightly just too shallow for the battery trays. But as you can see, I run the 6.5mm bullet connectors on all of my batteries and most of my ESCs. But since on this truck, and let me bring you in a little bit closer, you know that the EC5 connectors are built into the chassis, so I didn't want to alter this at all, and I do plan on picking up a 6500 milliamp set from Maxamps with dedicated EC5 connectors. But I'm so anxious to get this truck fired up. I wanted to calibrate the ESC, I wanted to bind the receiver and all that, so I was anxious to get it plugged in. So I went out to my local hobby shop and I picked up some Castle male 6.5mm bullets, and I picked up some EC5 female, and I was able to make my own wire leads leading from my batteries to the EC5 connectors that are built into the chassis. Now I also did make a loop connector in case I wanted to run this truck on one single battery, either a 3S or a 4S. And this ESC can run anywhere from 3 to 6S. So I can run one single 3S pack, one single 4S pack, and if I choose to do so, then I have my loop connector, which would plug into one side or one of these connectors, whichever you choose, and then one of these would go to one single battery. But now, since I have two of these wire leads made, I'm able to run 6S. So let me plug everything in for you guys, and I'll show you the truck turned on, because I know a lot of you just want to see this truck plugged in, turned on, and just see it roll a little bit, and believe me, so do I. So this is a video that will be leading up to my bashing running video. So let me bring you in a little bit closer and I'll plug everything in for you. Okay, so before I begin, let me get my battery retainer on here. And I really like how these fit on this truck. So as you can see, with the addition of that piece of foam at the bottom, it's bringing me right up to the top hole, and these are very snug and they fit perfectly in there. So here are my wire leads that I made. Okay, so before we begin, let's turn on our transmitter. So we're going to turn this on. As you can see, transmitter turned on. Always plug in your turn on your transmitter first for safety precautions. So we're going to plug one end in to one side, plug the other end in on the other side. Okay, so now we have our wire leads ready to plug into our batteries. So let's plug in one battery first. Let's plug in our second battery. So now we're running a total of 6S, guys. Alright, and now let's turn on the vehicle. Alright, guys. So now we are running dual 3S Maxamps in here. Let's close the lid. And that's another thing, I might want to just tuck this in. You don't want to take a chance of cutting any of your wire connectors. They will fit a lot better once I do have my dedicated Maxamps with the EC5s. And Maxamps does not suggest that you run wire leads like that, only because it can create a little bit of resistance with the electrical flow, but I've never really had any issues, but they say that they could affect the cell discharge as you run the truck. I just wanted to get everything fired up and just see the truck moving. So there you go, you can hear the cooling fan on the ESC. And that's it, guys. So let's see if I can get a little bit of footage of this thing driving around a little bit. We have a staircase here. Not too much space down in here, guys. Alright guys, we're here in the front of my house. It's starting to get late. It's very cold out today. The temperature dropped out over here on Long Island, New York. And by the time I was able to get these battery connectors wired up, it's getting late and it's super cold out. But I'm super anxious to get this thing running. So, take it out to the street. You're seeing it rolling for the first time. Get this set up here on a tripod. Oh yeah, it's got some punch. Definitely notice the difference with that LCG chassis. The steering trim set up a little better here. Ballistic. Can't even really hit full throttle here, guys. wheelie bar is working perfectly. Why is getting scratched up? It says 50 plus, guys, but the thing is ballistic. This is a ride of wheels. Wheelies on command.